didn't knock it down.
I think maybe the chair might have hit the door or something.
Yeah, maybe that door.
Anyway, let's get going.
Here's that chair.
All right. It was it just fell.
The
We put in the back room.
floor there looked like there was an earthquake here. I thought somebody had broke the doors and come in. But,
When we first heard them knocking on the front door, she had heard it before. She didn't tell me she had heard it. So one night it was about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Then I had heard someone knock, but like this knock wasn't like a knock like this was a boom, ba-dum, boom, boom, boom. It was loud. And then I had said, "Who is that?" She goes, "Oh, you heard that?" And I said, "Yeah." It was like a thunder knock. It went like boom, 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 boom. She goes, "Oh, turn the lights on." That hallway, it was cold.
I knew what it was. But
And
I
I
didn't want to
knew
scare her.
later they were knocking to come in. And then that we heard nobody from like outside walk down from the steps or walk up. That knock just showed up, but that this is a knock. It's not an ordinary knock. This is like a thunder knock. But the funny thing is, see, we have a certain knock that like we know who is who. We knock like this thing knew how we knocked, and it was strange because he knocked, or he or she or it knocked just like us, but
Really?
it was a pounding like boom, ba boom, 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 boom.
300-pound man was banging.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I thought it was
and then
something, I didn't know what it was,
then
'cause-
like she finally said, "This isn't the first time. This has happened before." And then I had said, "Shit, you mean somebody's been knocking, on the door?" And then she tells me, "You heard it?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "We both heard it, so we know it isn't."
But I,
What happened, Jeff?
I don't know. Never had that happen before.
Just sell something.
You're like scaring us now. They're getting mad in this
No.
Oh
house.
my God.
When you guys leave,
We're gonna get
Oh,
her.
really?
It's never done it.
But
You
what's
hear
wrong
that?
with it?
the hotel's open.
Advance to have the frame.
Jackie, you
So.
Jackie, that camera just malfunctioned just now. Jeff knows that camera very well.
Yeah, this is the same camera, by the way.
Same.
This camera was jerked from my hands.
Was it?
Yes, in an attic in San Pedro.
Yeah.
Jerked from my hands. I was shooting pictures like this, and they just took the thing, and it separated, took the lens off like this. It separated. It put the
God.
lens in one corner of the attic, and the body of the camera in another
He
corner.
doesn't want
How
you.
did?
I was lying down on the sofa there, and I know I wasn't asleep, but I seen this tall man come out of the room there. A real thin, tall man. And he went directly to where I was, and I could feel like if I was going down like this, I could feel myself, but I was so scared, I couldn't think of my grandson that was in the room asleep there. But then I felt this man was on top of me. And I felt like if he was, it's it, like, he was making love to me. I could feel everything. And then I felt the weight go, and the way, but that's happened only once, maybe about 2 or 3 years ago. And then after maybe about a couple of months ago, I was lying down there too, 'cause I sleep on the couch, and my daughter comes, she's in the bedroom. I woke up and I seen this little boy come, maybe about this big. He was coming walking, and I was watching, but he was all dressed in black. He got halfway to the couch, and I felt the same way. I thought I couldn't talk, but I thought he's going to kill me. Cause I'd never seen it that close. And as soon as he got near me, he disappeared. Then I was able to talk. Then I was lying there, and I closed the TV, and I was just lying down there, and I was in the night before I go to sleep, I pray. And then I seen this. I went like this, and I seen a hand, a big old hand, like a man's hand, like this. I think it was going to grab my neck, but I went like this, and it was gone. And other than that, I've seen things. I saw this lady. There was this lady I knew real good, and she died. She passed away maybe about 3 or 4 years ago. And this lady I seen in here, it looked like her. She was real tall, and had black hair, and real straight. And I seen her standing there. Then she walked away. But I just kept looking at her. But I couldn't talk, and I always think of saying like, "Well, what do you want?" or saying something, but you can't talk. You can't talk till it goes away. It leaves you. But I've seen things since I was about 8 years old. All my life I've seen it. But that's why, it does scare me. But I'm not very, I'm not afraid. I'm afraid for the kids, But me, I know, and sometimes I know when it's coming because I can be lying down. Then I begin to feel my heart like it's beating. I say, somebody's coming or the phone's going to ring. Something's going to happen. Yeah, it either comes, the phone ring, or somebody knocks at the door. I already know. I know it. That's why when you said right now that you thought that because of me, I think that's what it is. I know it is. I think that if I should leave this house here and moved away, maybe it wouldn't bother the kids anymore, but it'd go after me. So I don't know how you're going to get rid of it. Maybe I got to go or something. But I, like my daughter, she does the same thing. She could see everything. The girls, I tell them, I think the day that I should die, I think maybe you'll be able to see me if I can come back. But to say, no, we don't want you here.
I don't want to see her.
See, like her, she's my sister, but she's never seen anything, nothing.
I've never experienced anything. That's why I didn't even want to come, because I said, I don't want it to go follow me. Maybe it'll get mad. But I lived here 10 years and I never saw anything, heard a noise or anything.
My father died in 71. And every day at 5 o'clock exactly, he would knock at the window 2 times and he would leave me the paper, the Examiner, because he knew I liked to read the paper. So after he passed away, for about a month or 2, every night after midnight, they would knock 2 times on the window. I could hear his slippers coming up the stairs, and that was it. He would leave. But I knew it was him. But I wasn't afraid. And sometimes I think I'll be afraid of a real person because that could kill me. But this one does it's scary, because you could talk and say, well, what do you want, but you can't talk, But I'm pretty sure tonight it'll be here. It will come tonight, I know.
Probably because of this, huh?
It will come tonight, I can bet it will. It'll come tonight. Because you see, we're talking about them and they don't like you to talk about them.
When we do that, we see it. We either see like little boy, or we see this man or this lady. But it seems every time we talk about it, we mention it, we either feel a breeze, we either hear a noise in the kitchen, or that we see it.
But why is it that during the day, you don't talk about it? But as soon as it's getting dark, you begin to talk about it. It's like when you're kids, you're small. At night, that's when you like to be talking about, spooky stories and things like that. Well, it's the same thing,
Like about 2 months ago, she knows that she tells me about all the things she sees, and I tell her, how come she said that they opened the closet door. I said, how come I used to sleep there and I never saw anything? So then at that time, my mother walked in and she's telling me all the experience of all the things she sees, the men that want to kill her, and asking me, do you think it could be possible? I said, no, I was sitting right there. My mother was sitting there and she was sitting there. And my mom said, don't be talking about them because you know that they get mad. And sure enough, I had never seen them. I've never seen them, but I had never experienced. You could feel like they dropped something very heavy. And right there between that wall to the hall, they were knocking, but hard. In my heart, I knew that it had to be that, because why all of a sudden that happened. Then she had a little picture, because we're Catholic, and it had Jesus. She said, if you go in that room and look against the wall, and if you count 25, you'll see a light, and then he'll appear. I had seen him in the hall. I didn't see him there, so I said, okay, but that's where I had heard the noise. I was scared. I was leery. So I went in the room, and I was counting 1, 2, 3, and I began to feel something real heavy in back of me, like when someone's standing beside you or staring. And I couldn't concentrate. I kept saying, God, you have to be stronger than whatever is here. You gotta let me finish counting till 25. And I was going 5, 6, 7. I was trying to finish the 25 to see the image. I saw the light, but my knees started to buckle, and I had got out and told her, Virgie, there's something here. And she tells me there is. Look at my arms, all the hair in her arms. She said, don't you feel the coldness? Well, this must have been in March when this happened, but I had a sweater. And I tell her, no, I can't feel cold. She said, look at my arms, all the hair in her hands were sticking up, and she said, it's here. After that, I said, I'm going home. I ain't staying here. So I told my mom, I gotta go to the bathroom. I got scared. I have to go to the bathroom. Go with me. I don't want to go up there. And she said, okay, I'll walk with you, because I was scared, I thought that from there he would meet me back there, because they keep telling me he comes out of that room.
And then this clock here's like, one of those grandfather clocks.
And it was ringing so
when you
bad.
put the battery,
I was so
it's
nervous.
like
I told her,
boom,
take that battery
That's
out.
how you take it out, 'cause they're all
I
steel.
can't, because it was going bang, bang. And I told her, see, that's promoting that, like the ghost dongs. Take it out, because I couldn't take it anymore. It was so scary. And I've never seen it, but I could feel a heaviness, like something heavy was behind me. And I didn't want to turn because I knew it was something there, and I kept saying, God, you're stronger than whatever it is. Help me to go through this number, 25, because she said God would appear. I saw the light,
got up to 20?
and I said no, I couldn't because my knees started buckling really bad. I had to get out of the room.
It's
'Cause
it's one of these
there.
papers that my daughter brought it from work. It's a picture of Jesus Christ,
it's got a
but it's
circle.
a background is black. So if you put it, you look at it and you count up to 25. As soon as you count up 25, you look at the wall, in the sky, wherever, and you see him real big.
It shows like a light, and it showed.
I don't know
saw
how
the
you
light,
call
but
it.
I didn't see him because I couldn't take it anymore. I couldn't finish
An
the
illusion, or I don't know what
It
I
is,
call it. When you
uh-huh.
look at it a lot, you seem to see it.
Okay, exactly what happened?
Try and do it fast.
Okay, quick.
Fast.
Okay,
You went to bed.
I went to bed. I happened to just sleep on my left side, and he was lying there. He was like in full flesh. You could see him. From his features, he was like light complexion. He had dark hair. He looked about 35, 40 years old. He was a very good looking man. The only thing is from his eyes, I just saw dark, but his pupils, it was red. And I can feel pressure on my left arm, like each time I would move, he would move closer to me, and that I couldn't talk. I was just moaning. So my mother, she had heard me making sounds. She called me, and then she had said, Sandy, what's wrong? I can hear her clear. The only thing is, I felt so much weight I couldn't talk. When that she had walked in the room, she had turned on the light switch, he disappeared. I had jumped up from the bed and I was scared, okay? So I told her I would go to the bathroom. He had followed me in there. Because that bathroom, no matter how humid you feel it now, that bathroom, it was cold, okay? When I walked out of that bathroom, that I had went to the front room, to the living room, whatever. So my older son, he had ran to his room for his pillow because all of us decided to all sleep, like in one room. When my older son went to his room for his pillow, this thing followed him. It had passed right by him so fast where his hair like moved.
You said he came out
and
of the air
he
like this.
ran out of that room. He had said it had followed him. So we all stood in the living room. I would say for about 5 minutes, that room, it was cold. He wouldn't leave. Then after, we began to feel it warm and that he had left. But you can see him lying there like a regular person, like a real person. This wasn't a shadow, or you could see his like face, you could see his hair, his nose, you could just see him lying there.
But I think that's why she couldn't move, because if she would have been able to move her hands and she would have tried to grab him, there would have been nothing there. That's why she
But
can't.
I felt so much
she can't
pressure on my arms, like if he was holding me down to just look at him. And then each time I would move, I can see his face, it would move closer and closer. He wouldn't let me leave. He wanted me to look at him. And what scared me was his eyes. Each time we would see something, we would either see it from the side, from a profile, or we would see this person going by quick. Well, what scared me was that I actually saw his face, but his eyes, it's not a person's eyes. This was like
a devil?
A demon, huh?
Like if his eyes, they were dug out and you just saw dark, but the red pupils were there. But his nose and his cheek and his mouth, I saw everything.
How would you be able to know, where would you go to be able to find out who lived here? Well, I would see at night, I would wake up. You see, I haven't slept in that bedroom there for maybe about 10 or 15 years. I never sleep there because I'm afraid of it. So I sleep here on the sofa and I leave the kitchen light open. But I would get up at night sometimes and I see right there where that plant is, I would see a big round circle, like a light. And then I would think it's not coming from outside. And I would turn off the light in the kitchen, I'd turn it on, and that light was still on there. But I saw about 3 or 4 times and it went away. I even thought maybe, you know how they say all these religious things are going on. I said, oh, maybe something's going to appear there. That's what I would think.
How bright was the light?
It was a bright light, like a big round
Like
circle.
a flashlight?
No, like
Was it a ball, a sphere? Was it a disc? Was it a round thing on the wall, or was it a big globe of light?
No, it's just a round light, you know, like if just a round circle in the light there.
A flat circle.
Yeah,
How did
that's
it move? Did it move at all?
no, it was just there, standing there. That's why I used to be afraid, and I would say, "Oh my God, there ain't something gonna fear in this thing." Like you see nowadays they say something to the Virgin Mary and this and that, everything of fear, but then it went away. But I always had a feeling that some people. I always had a feeling like there was money here, but I keep thinking and thinking. I always keep thinking that from this fireplace here, I'm gonna hear a noise and something's gonna fall from there. And I wish on it so much, and I think on it so much, because there's times that I can.
That's why
If I want
some
something to happen bad on somebody, all I have to do is just think about it and wish it for a while, and there it is. And things like that, and then I know, like I tell you, I know things that are going to happen. I know even before they're going to open their mouth, I know what they're going to tell me. So I already know, like if something's going to happen to the kids or something, right away. Like my daughter, I tell her this and this and this. And sometimes she don't believe me. She says no. Then she'll call me up and she says, "You remember what you told me?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, "It's true, or it came true." I told you, and things like that. I don't know.
Are you frightened living here?
No, I like it. I like it living here.
What do you think is in this house?
You think it's like a ghost or
I
a
think
devil or something?
no. I don't know if it's a ghost or sometimes I say, like I told you the other day, it cussed me out. I was going out to lock the door, and then I felt something in back of me, so I got real mad. Sometimes people say you're supposed to cuss at them. So I said, "Oh," I gave him the F you. He turned around, he told me real loud, a man's voice, like an older man, said, "F you back." Real good. And then I turned around, I said, "There's nobody in here." So I ran to the room and I seen the kids that were asleep. At 6:30 in the morning, I get up every day. So that's why I say, I don't know whether it's something good or it's something bad. I don't know. Sometimes I think it's bad, I said.
You feel that whatever this is in the house could be evil, has the potential for evil?
Well, sometimes I say maybe they don't like me, that someday something will happen to me because of this thing here. But said I'm afraid for my kids, when they're here. Not me, But I don't know what it is.
What about the animals that have been seen, like the wolf or the
My grandson saw. We used to see under this table here. There's a china cabinet. Okay, we would be sitting there. And we see something big, like either a
Looks
cat
like a rat.
or like a big rat. We would run and go in there. And then I said, we would wake up. So we would turn the lights on and say, well, it can't go in back of there. Would look all over. It couldn't go to the wall. So then I told one of my sons when he came. I told my son. So he put we put newspapers all over under the table and over there near the kitchen, and we put mouse traps. We said we're going to see. But that thing went by and it didn't make any noise on the newspaper, and he didn't catch it in the mousetrap, so we knew right away what it was.
Remember Nico said he had a little rabbit and it died, and he thought that was a rabbit he was seeing? Remember
But
that?
What about the wolf that was saw one day? Your younger son
Yeah,
saw?
he was sitting down. Well, you see, all of us were all watching TV in the front room. My youngest son, he was 3 then. He happened to look up. He went, "Ay!" Okay, so like we knew he had seen something. So then we had said, "What did you see?" He goes, "I had seen like a teddy bear mask." I go, "A teddy bear?" He goes, "But he was like this. He had teeth." So then when he said that, the room was cold again.
But then when he was small, he was a baby, I say, he must have been about 2 years old. We used to put the playpen there, and we were all watching TV, and he would stand there and look down to the kitchen and would say, "Bye." He kept
He
saying
would say
bye.
bye to them.
But we don't know who.
He would say bye. He would say
And then she
bye.
put him on the stroller. She snapped him
Oh,
up, and
he
she went
was,
to wash dishes. When she came back, he was thrown on the floor,
And he
but
was
the crying with the kitty car, the stroller, it had the straps. I think
was 6
somebody
months
grabbed him
old.
and threw him on the floor.
He was 6 months old. I was washing dishes. This was right before all my children. It starts at 12 o'clock. Okay. So then anyway, I had heard like a noise like boom. Okay. So I had ran to the front room here. He was crying, but he was on the floor lying there. But the thing is, he was strapped. Something picked him up and threw him on the floor, and he was crying.
He was out of the stroller on the
He
floor.
was out of his stroller. But you see, my mother, she had said to me, don't ever leave the kids in the stroller by themselves, okay? So he was only about 6 months old, okay? I had strapped him up, and I was washing dishes. Every so while, I would walk back and forth. He was asleep, okay? So I felt he was safe, okay? Then I had heard a noise like boom, okay? When I had ran over here, he was on the floor crying, but the stroller was there still. The stroller was not turned over.
It was upright.
It was just there upright. But he was strapped.
Well, what do you mean by he was strapped? I don't know.
The little
Okay,
strap
you
was
know,
still tied, huh?
strollers have a little belt.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Right.
okay. I had strapped him up where I put on that belt, so okay. He was on the floor, but that stroller was not lying down on the floor like if that he fell
Right.
out. It was just there. It was sitting
How
there.
was he still strapped if he was there? I'm still confused. But what
She means to say the stroller had straps there, you know, but
It had the strap on
Yeah,
top.
it was-
And it was closed, it wasn't
No.
open, huh? Like,
no, they
He
just.
was out of there.
I
They
don't-
just took him out and just put him there.
Do you think? I always think that. How is it they can do all these things? Is it? I think it's with their mind now, because it's a spirit. It's a spirit. That's why you cannot see no body, no face. It can't use its hands. So I figure that it's with their mind now.
Something
But
like
the
that.
thing-
Because
is-
why do they? How could they turn out lights
Or how
click.
to make the smoke detectors go on and on.
and all that?
Not
Make
just
things fly.
that.
Hey, why don't you tell us
How
about
did
the
this
smoke
thing-
detectors? Yeah, that's.
Oh God, we.
Go on, and then we would get up and go get a towel, and we throw it up like that, and we hit it, and it go off. Then we go to bed, and then the oven goes on, and then the kitchen goes all night. They were like that until we knew how to turn them off. We opened a little
And it
box.
was a cool evening. It wasn't
Yeah.
hot. There was no smoke.
No, buddy.
no
I
fire,
smoke,
nothing.
but I smoke outside because my daughter and my grandson don't like to
Right.
smoke. But we never smoke inside the house here.
So in order to get some peace, you had to take out the wires.
Yeah, that's the only way. So now we don't have no smoke detectors or anything. But what do you think that smell is? What is that?
Okay. We sometimes have an odor or a smell. You would say, it's something like not a burned rag. It's like some kind of like a
Sulfur? Like a
like
chemical?
a,
or something?
no, like a stinky smell. You know, I don't know how you would say stinky. You know, but this smell, it was so
bad.
ugly that we would spray, you know, like some air freshener. We would look like in the dryers to see if that we left something in there and it was stuck in the back and it was burning or something. But like this smell, it was an ugly
smell.
smell.
Like something died or anything like that, like a dead odor.
Like a mildew or some
Mildew,
kind of
yeah.
ugly
Rotting,
smell.
rotting.
Like a rotten smell.
What is that?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like a
We've had
rotten
that- we've
egg
had
or
that- we've had that
something.
quite commonly
Oh,
in
yeah?
other cases.
And they don't know what that is?
No, never been able to figure it out. But it's real common.
But we smell it where my son's room is. We hear noises, we hear footsteps. Things seem to come either from my son's room, from the kitchen, or the back room.
I think that there's my grandson's room, the kitchen, the bathroom, and that little porch. That's something in there. These two rooms here, they come because they pass through here. They go through the hall, they pass through here. You see them go down this way. And sometimes, you could see the figures, they stand in the door there. But they always come out of there. I see a big old head. He peeks his head out, and then he peeks his head back. But I always want to say, I want to sometimes say something to it, but you stay like this, I can't talk. I'm just looking at it till it goes away.
Okay, like my mother, when we were small, she would work nights, so my grandmother, she would watch us. Okay, there were times when the closet door would open and it would close by itself. I think to myself, they come out from the closet, because when we would get so scared, we would turn on the lights. The closet door, it would close, but it would stay open this much. But you see, these closet doors squeak. When the doors open, you hear it squeak. So that's how I think to myself, they come out from the closet.
She says that's a doorway to hell.
That's what we say,
Because when we go somewhere, my grandson, he won't stay. And she'll say, well, shall we leave him? I said, no, we can't leave him alone here because I'm afraid something could happen. So we have to take him.
But it's
Everybody
funny.
leaves.
He locks his closet with
a
a
lock.
lock. When he doesn't lock it, he like forgets. We leave, we come back, and the closet door is open.
Maybe about a couple of weeks ago, I told him, I said, I'm going to sleep in your room because it's so warm and he has a big fan there. So they all slept here and I went to sleep in his room. It was a little after midnight. I must have stayed there about half an hour. I couldn't sleep. I knew something was in there and I could hear noise inside the closet. I said, forget it. I came back and I slept in the chair.
What kind of noises did you hear?
Like the cracking noises, like something's cracking. Like, you know, when the wall. No. It's only like this one here, you could see like that door, you feel it like it's cracking open and that door don't close good.
How long did it persist?
Well, maybe for about 5 or 10 minutes. And I wanted to stay there. I said, I want to see what's in here. But I couldn't, you know. I was afraid to stay there. I said, because if I would have happened the same thing happened to somebody went to bed there, I don't have no heart trouble. I think I would have gotten a heart attack.
Has anybody ever heard the noises and then opened the closet?
No.
No.
He's afraid. That's why he has a big lock. A big lock. Every night that we put the lock on so that it won't open.
He's afraid that
come out, huh?
it will open because when he doesn't lock it, it opens by itself. And
But
it
on-
closes by itself.
But on
So it
Saturdays,
always stays that much
before on
open.
Saturdays, he used to like to get up in the morning at 6 o'clock to start watching the cartoons. When he would fall asleep, he says that, you know, they get near his ear and tell him, no, wake up. And he wakes up. They wake him up. So sometimes I think it's nice, and then sometimes it's evil. It's mean so.
But it said one time it bit your toe, and another time it scratched your foot. Tell us about that.
Well, I was lying down on the bed here, and I had my feet up there like that. And all the kids were there. I saw they're all going to bed. So then I felt something, teeth and bite my toes. And I said, damn it. And I kicked it like that. And I said, oh my God, maybe I kicked one of the kids. But nobody made any noise. So I said I didn't kick them. So I came out here fast because I was leaving the lamp on. And I seen they're all sleeping on the floor. Her, the two boys, everybody.
And your toe was bleeding?
No, but it was real red, like everything. The same thing like her. They scratched her feet so much, like with a brush, that she woke up and she told me I seen her feet was so red the next day she couldn't put on her shoes. Like it must have been a brush.
But they had nails and they scratched it. See, that she had always told me never sleep with your feet hanging out exposed, okay? And that it just happened that night. It was hot and I had slept when my feet with like no socks on. I just lie there on the floor, and that I couldn't sleep. Something kept making me stay awake. I felt very restless, okay? And so when I was lying there, I had felt something like a hairbrush, so many like fingers or like so many nails, okay, that it just scratched me, it just dug in my foot and it just scratched. So then I had kicked, okay, then she had turned on the lights, and then she asked me what's wrong, you know, and I said somebody scratched me from my feet. And when I had turned over my foot, it had a like red lines, okay? So in the morning when I got dressed for work, I couldn't wear heels because my foot, it was sore. This thing scratched me so hard that my foot stood like you know how when you scratch someone real deep, you would stay with like some red lines there, like lifted or something. That's how that my foot was. It just stood that way.
How long did it take to heal?
I felt it feeling better, like I would say the following day. And my work, I have to wear heels, and I just wore, you know, tennis shoes that day because I couldn't wear heels because my foot felt all like sore from those red bumps. Like if somebody just dug, they're like nails in my foot.
So that's why I think sometimes it's nice and sometimes it's something evil. Maybe I think it wants the house, like the movie The House, and it wants us to go away. But I don't know what it is. But I'm so comfortable here, and I like it, spookies or not spookies. You know, I'm just afraid for the kids. You know, for them to. I hate for them to see anything like that. Because sometimes during the day when my grandson goes to school and she goes to work, I'll stay here in the kitchen here. But I know something's in here because when I turn around, I could see something walk in the room.